Okay, so first of all we are going to create a slip knot. Pop that onto your hook and now chain 5. This is where my pattern slightly changes from other creators that do the C2C. I choose to chain 5 and work in the 3rd chain from your hook and then carry on the stitch that way, so there is a less of a gap in your work. Right, so our next thing is to hook over and pick up that 3rd stitch, the 3rd chain, hook over and create your double crochet, and then double crochet into the next one and double crochet into the last chain. So now you will have a chain 2 and then 3 double crochets. Now to create our next square we are going to chain up 5. Now this looks a little bit alien to you all because you're not actually going to be working this side, you're going to be working on the top side. And again, what we're going to do is hook over and place a double crochet into your 3rd chain from the hook, and then your 4th chain from the hook, and your 5th chain from the hook. Right, so now you have what I've like to nickname a little pair of legs. So what we're going to do is we're going to get one to do the can and turn over, and then we're going to place a slip stitch into the chain 2 space. Okay, we're not going into the stitch, you're going around the stitches. So we just slip stitch and that closes off your 2nd square. Now we're going to chain 2 and into that same place we are going to add 3 double crochet. Now that is the end of row 2. Now for row 3 we are going to repeat this pattern, but this time we're going to make 3 blocks. So let's chain 5, double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook, flip your work or turn your work or can it over, and then place a slip stitch into the gap where that 1st chain is, set of chains are. Now we're going to chain up 2 and place 3 stitches in the same, 3 double crochet in the same spot. I normally move any squares out of the way like that, it saves you catching it with your hook. Then place a slip stitch around the chain 2, chain up 2, and then place a further 3 double crochets around that chain 2. And there we go. So now you have your 3 squares for row 3. So from this point on I will be popping in a caption area down this side here with the amount of squares you're going to need and which colour combination. At the beginning, in a moment, I will explain the different colours. But for row 4, 5 and 6, it is just white. So I'm going to leave you to get on with that, because I'm going to do that as well, and I will meet you back here in a few moments, because that's when we're going to start changing colours. There we go. So this is what your work should look like. This is the end of row 6. Now if you're left-handed, you can still do this pattern, remember, but yours will just hopefully look something like that. At least I hope that's how it works. But I'm going to carry on doing this and showing you in a right-handed, otherwise it will confuse the daylights out of me. But lefties, you will easily be able to follow along with the box count as you go. So for the end of row 6, you will have 6 white squares. Right, so now we are back for row 7. Row 7, we will be adding in our black. So make sure you've got that ready and to hand. Right, so for this one, we will be doing 2 white squares followed by 3 black ones. So when you go to join your black, only do half of the double crochet for your last stitch in this block. I found by doing it this way, it makes it look a lot neater. Right, so with your black, make a slip stitch and then pull that through the 2 remaining loops on your hook. Then we will be working over your white strand here and into the chain 2 spot with your slip stitch as normal. Okay, give the threads a gentle tug, don't go too hard on them, otherwise it will make your white box go a bit wonky. Now we're going to chain up 2 and then place your 3 double crochets into your chain 2 spot. Followed by your slip stitch to join. Now what you can do with this as well is you can work over the white tail that you have here and work it up and along, but to be honest, you're going to end up adding another white ball quite shortly anyway, and just because it makes it look neater. So that is why I am now bringing in a second ball of white and adding that at the end of my 3rd double crochet. So it's an incomplete double crochet, add your white with a slip stitch, a slip knot, pull it through and then carry on. Then pull up your black, work over your black with the white for your slip stitch. Then we drop the black and carry on with 2 more white blocks. Now my balls of yarn are normally a bit bigger than the ones that you can see at the moment. They're normally this size that I'm working from, but I've made this section of the pattern about 4 times now, so where I'm just not quite awake, and so that's why I've got lots of little balls. Right, so here is what row 7 should look like. You were working down your work, so you did 2 white ones, 3 black, 2 white. Don't worry too much about your tails or the right side or the wrong side of the work, because each time you go up you're flipping it anyway. So what I end up doing is I'll do a bulk, and when I've got a load of tails I pull them all through to one side and then I'll sew them in. I also suggest that you pop a stitch marker at this point on your work that is going up, because this is going to be the side that you carry on extending on at a later point. Not only that, it's nice to know that you got to row 5, row 10 and the works. Right, on to the next row. Right, so we're now on to row 8. So for row 8 we're going to be adding in our colour B, so get that one ready and then let's start. So we will be doing 2 white blocks first. And then we'll be moving on to the black. So with this section, what we now do is we complete our 3rd double crochet. And we will be moving the black across, so I found the simplest and neatest way to do that is to work over it. So I pop my hook through my chain 2 that I'll be working into in a moment, grab my black and pull that through. That way I can keep the tension on the black the same as what it would be for the white. And then I pull it through and complete my slip stitch. Also give the white a little gentle tug, and that clean makes your box sit nice. Now it's a case of chain up 2, work over your black yarn that you've carried across and over your chain 2 to create your box. Now on the 3rd pull through, stop in your normal stopping spot for joining, grab your pink, give yourself a decent tail. I've got a thing about not doing that lately. Pop it on and finish your stitch. Then work over your black tail and your chain 2 with the pink yarn for your slip stitch, and then chain 2. You can drop your black and then carry on your box. So we're doing 2 pink and then we will be swapping back to the black. So remember now, because we've already got the black joined in to the project, you don't have to worry about not completing that 2nd stitch. You complete it as normal. And then we pick up the yarn again by scooting through the stitch and pulling it through, and then you finish off your slip stitch by pulling your pink through. Okay, and then we chain up, and I've run out of yarn. Hold up. Now we'll work up our 1 black, and we'll be changing to white at the end of this. using the same method as before for bringing the white up. That's complete your stitch. Pull the white up the square, hook it through and finish off your slip stitch. Okay. Now we'll work up the last two white squares. Right, so for row 8 you were working up your work. You had 2 white, 1 black, 2 colour A, 1 black and 2 white. Now don't worry too much about this section here where you've just joined your colour. If you notice, it sometimes loops like this. When you go to make the next square in white, you'll just give that a gentle tug and then work your white, and then it will sit neater than what my ones have. Oops, a daisy. Right, let's get on with row 9. Right, from this point on I will be revisiting you with a picture of how the work's going to be looking and your box counts. I'll see you in a moment. For row 9 you were working down your work, so you did 2 white, 1 black, 3 A, 1 black, 2 white. For row 10 you are working up your work, so you will be doing 2 white, 1 black, 4 colour A, 1 black and 2 white. For row 11 we do not have any black squares on the row. That's why I've got all this, because guess who didn't follow the pattern? Yep, this idiot. So when you get to the place where you would have picked up your black thread, we're not going to do that. We're going to be pulling the colour A over. But what I suggest you do is, as you do your slip knot, okay, you also work over the black from the previous square, because then it will mean that you will be able to carry the black without any issues. Okay, so what I just did there was I pulled my colour A across, and then once I had finished slipping into my square, I then laid my black over the top and then finished off my slip stitch. Now all I do is drop the black and forget about it until the next row. For row 11 you will be working down your work. Your box count is 3 white, 5 colour A and 3 white. Remember, there is no black on this row. For row 12 you are working up your work. You will do 3 white, 1 black, 4 colour A, 1 black and 3 colour white. Right, so for row 13 you will be working down your work. We will start with 4 white, follow it with 5 colour A and another 4 white at the end. Row 14, this time you're working up your work. You will do 4 white, 1 black, 4 colour A, 1 black and 4 white. And for row 15, you will be working down your work. You will do 5 white, 1 black, 3 white, 1 black, and 5 white. Right, I'm back with you for row 16. Now with row 16, we are going to need to add in another black and another white. Now that's these two here. If you prep yourself a couple of balls of that, and I will see you back here in a moment. Right, you will be working up your work for row 16. You will start with 2 white, then we'll add in the black. So you've got 2 black, then you add in the white for 1 white, then you pick up your black for 2 black, pick up your pink or your colour A and do 2 squares of colour A, and then there is 2 squares of black, and you finish it off with 5 white. Okay, so now we are on to row 17. Now row 17 has got a finicky bit down this section here where you'll be cutting off old yarn and yarn balls, sorry, cutting off old ones and moving them up or moving them along. Right, so let's get on with your stitch count, and I will tell you where you're cutting off and where you're moving as we go along. To start off with, you will be doing 6 white, then you'll be doing 4 black. When you get to your pink, cut it off and leave yourself a nice long tail. Then as you get down to the bottom here, you will notice that you will end up with 2 blacks. So choose one, cut off a nice long tail and leave the other one working. Then what we're going to do is we're going to be picking up our white, and we will work over the working yarn of the black just for this one square. Then, so you'll have done one white working over the loose black yarn. Then you do 2 black and cut off a white. Then we add in a pink, which was the one that you took off up here somewhere. Then we do a black. Again, I think that's an add-in, isn't it? Yeah. And then we add in the black. Sorry, I completely forgot where I was then. And then we work the white. Right, so because this is the awkward row, I've just told you what I did for the picking up and dropping up of the yarns. Now I will reread the stitch count for you. It is 6 white, 5 black, 1 white, 2 black, 1 pink or colour A, 1 black, 2 white. So for row 18 we will be adding a ball of black and a ball of white to our project, so make sure you've got those to hand before you start it. So our row counts for row 18 are that we are working up our work. You will do 2 white, 1 black, 1 colour A, 1 black, 1 white, 1 black, 4 white, 1 black and 6 white. Back for row 19. This time we are working down our work. We will do 6 white, 1 black, 3 white, 2 black, 2 white, 1 black, 1 colour A, 1 black and 2 white. Right, so we are back for row 20. Now this is the last row for this video. Okay, so once you've finished making this one up, pop your stitch marker in at the end of the row and get ready to sew in them ends. So for row 20 you will be working up your project. Okay, so we will have 2 white, 1 black, 1 colour A, 1 black, 4 white, 1 black, and then the best bit, 10 white. Right, so I'll leave you on that happy note to sew in all your ends, and I will see you soon for the second part of this set of videos. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I've managed to talk you through it enough and I've not confused you too much. If I have, or if you have any issues, please pop a message in the comment section below, or fire me off an email, or even pop over to the Facebook group and leave a message on there. I will set up a little area so that all of you that are crocheting along with me can pop your tips and comments and other bits and pieces, even maybe a sneaky video, a sneaky photo of your work so far into that folder. Alright, and I will speak to you all later. Goodbye for now. Right, so you have placed your yarn through. Now we are going to, I like to work over this white with my black just for the slip knot, just helps to keep it a little bit neater. And remember where your brain is. Row 14. So for row 14 you were working up your work. You did 4 white, 1 black. You didn't do it, you're about to do it.